educate the public appropriately.
What's the difference between you and Jackson?
What's the difference between us? Quite a bit. I think the biggest thing is the largest player in the industry. You know, I first started with this company back in January 2001, and I can tell you assuredly that Gatso didn't have any programs at that point, and have only just recently, I think about 2 years ago, come into the industry here. They've been an equipment provider to another competitor, ACS, which has the Cleveland program. With very limited operating experience in the entire country, this is a different market. We have contracts in over 12 countries. It's not the same. The U.S. is a totally different animal, and being a community making a decision in this particular industry is where's your peace of mind? You know, we've been here literally for a decade. We have industry's leading technology. We're the first digital vendor in the business. We're the largest provider of red light, largest provider of speed enforcement, and we do all of our own processing. Gatso has to outsource to another company to do the processing, so now you have two parallel paths you're working on. Well, from a customer service perspective, we call for, they don't have access to inlets. They have a company that has to do it for them. How do you deal with that? You know, we know communities who have had multiple vendors do that, and it's problematic because most of your ongoing support is the police department doing the processing. Well, we just contracted with Gatso, but they have another company do all the processing, so who are we dealing with? And I mean, that's really the key, is peace of mind. We have the longevity, and when you look at our business, longevity means, geez, we've been here, we've had about 8 different vendors either go bankrupt, get into receivership, and we're still here.
Other than length of time, and I don't mean to discount that.
Absolutely.
Is there any difference in technology as far as
Oh,
you feel
absolutely.
your equipment's technologically superior to theirs, or?
Our technology, absolutely superior. As Capper mentioned, we literally competed against our competitors, and we competed against their technology in Chicago. We beat them unanimously, and that was with ACS when they were providing the technology for ACS at that time. So we've actually beat them head-to-head, or their technology. We've actually replaced their technology, and I'd say more than a dozen locations across the country, most recently Sacramento, California. Largest program in California had ACS, Gatso's technology, just replaced them maybe 4 or 5 months ago. Unanimous, hands down. I mean, the score will send you the scoring grid. So time and time again, we've replaced their technology because ours is just better. I mean, it truly is.
And number of employees.
And number of employees, 10 to 12 for Gatso and almost 600 for RedFlex in the U.S. You need support. I mean, this is a marriage. This isn't a widget. Thanks for playing. You know, we're leaving. I mean, this is literally an ongoing process. And again, you've seen what happened in Heath. They needed support, and we've been there literally on a daily basis to help support them through this. You know, and it's a big deal.
Is there, when you turn these things on, it becomes functional, is there a probationary period or a
30
time
days. Yep.
before you start issuing violations? So,
And that's
30
no
days.
cost to the city. It's 30 days,
okay.
free of charge, and guess what? That's your courtesy to your citizens. You've got 30 days to change your behavior.
And the constituents receive a ticket, but you don't have to pay for it. It says void over the top or sample.
Yeah, it's a letter.
You
It's a
got
courtesy
caught on
note.
this day. Just want to let you know we go live in this many days from now.
So you are sending out some kind of
The
notice?
courtesy notes, yeah.
That they have
Absolutely.
created a violation?
Yeah.
Absolutely. And our average turnaround from the time a violation occurs to the time they get the ticket in the mail is less than 6 days. As an entire company, it's about 5.5 days total. So it's not like they're going to have to wait 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. They literally get it within a week or less.
Did they do that probationary period in Heath?
Yes,
Get the
they
warning?
did.
Yep, we did.
Does that go on your insurance records, or the regular
Nope.
insurance rates?
It's all civil.
It's
No,
all civil,
doesn't go against your record.
When it comes to money,
so the chief will probably
There you go.
make too many.
Yep.
if they, if
His
the
wife's
Son,
son.
everything comes back to me.
Just
Will we
let it
sue
go.
them? Is that what happened?
They actually did that. They
I mean,
took,
it becomes our burden, the city's burden. RedFlex doesn't go after the money.
we can. No, we can. It's your option. We have the process in place to use a collection agency to go after folks. The city of Dayton, for example, I think about 2 years ago, they actually took their most frequent violators and actually took them to court. So again, you have all means available to you to go after those people, but the current process is if they don't pay and they're delinquent, you can choose to allow us to use our firm to go after them to collect the funds. Or you may choose that, no, after delinquency, we're not going to go after them. We're going to get what we get from a voluntary standpoint. So, and again, it's fully in discretion.
What went wrong in Heath? Because had Heath not have happened, you folks in the system would have been much better received here, I think. But for whatever went wrong in Heath, and maybe it's just because we're not close enough to Lima and East Cleveland.
Sure.
But Heath has shot these cameras in the foot here, I think. I mean, what-
And
why-
I think what went wrong is there were too many people breaking the law, and they didn't like that. I mean, frankly, it's the first week of the program, there were 3,500 plus violations. Last week, we had less than 800, about 760. We've literally reduced it by almost 80%. So they had a legitimate problem. So it depends on how you want to look at it. What went wrong? Well, too many people were, there was a real problem. And guess what? We've addressed the problem in less than 2.5 months, and now we've reduced it by literally almost 80%.
So in the 30 days, the probation period in Heath, how many violations did it have that?
On that, I can look that up for you, but I would assume it's in the
what the difference-
3,500,
I mean, if
yeah.
they knew for 30 days
Yeah.
that they were going to get ticketed, and you had that many after that,
Because I know from day one, go live was like July 1st, and that the first week is about 3,500. So, and I can look at the warning, see how many warning notices went out. And again, it's just nobody likes getting a ticket.
You was
You know,
not,
it's a
you was
very-
not in their wallet, you wasn't in
Not
their
even-
wallet, you
Right.
wasn't not in their wallet in the
Yeah.
30 days. And I see the same thing here in Zanesville. I can hand out warning tickets all day long.
Sure.
You catch the same guy the next day.
Right.
They do not care about a warning ticket, it's only a
That had
courtesy
to
for
do
me.
with Heath officer, and Heath officer had to look
Absolutely.
at 3,500.
Uh-huh.
Now, how long does it take to go over one?
Per incident, about
Yeah.
30 seconds per incident.
So about 2 a minute. That's taking an officer off the street
It's
easily.
Or a temporary time.
Yeah, it's usually, I don't know how big's your traffic department, how many police do you have?
We only have 30 guys sitting on patrol unit.
What a lot of cities will do is they'll have a dedicated project
60 guys
manager, and they'll have
on
multiple, work in different shifts who are trained. So you might have 10 guys trained in the system, and when they're doing their hours of desk work, they're getting on the system, they're logging in to authorize tickets. So it's not one guy, it's typically a series of people trained within the police department to do it when you're at the desk doing your desk work. And you got one guy who kind of oversees the entire project.
Almost about